Welcome back. Today I want to show you my homeschool planner. This is kind of like a planner that I put together based on a lot of different videos that I have seen, different inserts that I decided I wanted. And the foundation though of this planner is a happy planner. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jess. And I have a kindergartner and a preschooler that will be entering this school year. We've actually started in July. We had our first day of school already because in September I am due with our third child. And so I wanted to kind of get ahead of the game, and then I could possibly take off, October from homeschooling if I need to, just recover and take care of a newborn and 2 other little ones. So anyways, what this video is all about is just sharing what I have so far and what I've kind of found that I'm enjoying with planning. Now, honestly, last year when I made some videos of how we schooled last year, and I didn't really do a planner at all. And so this year I thought, with a new baby and with inspiration from others in the homeschool community, I decided to try this whole planning thing out. And I've been really enjoying it. It actually has been motivating me. It's actually been reducing stress, and I love it. I'm going to start off with why I chose a happy planner. If you're unfamiliar with happy planner, the unique things about happy planner are these disc bound system, which means that these aren't spiral bound. You don't have to tear anything out because they all just kind of pop out. I made this cover. And so see, I can just easily pull this out and punch it back in and move things around how I want. And so I really enjoy that about the happy planner. Actually, somebody who really inspired me was Annie Smith. I will leave her videos down below about why she chose a happy planner, and she actually uses a kind of a computer program that you can buy and looks really awesome, but I decided to make my own and save a couple bucks. So you'll see that in a little bit, but I will leave hers down below because she really inspired me about why to choose a big size happy planner. Now, a big size happy planner means that this actually is an 11.5 by 9, so regular, or 11.5 by 8, regular piece of paper size. So I can create documents, print them out. I can take things from my kids' curriculum and then just punch them in with my happy planner punch and have it all here in one big planner. I also you can do that kind of with a 3-ring binder, but I like the fact that I can open this up and just lay it flat like that. It doesn't take up too much space on my table. And instead of a 3-ring binder, which is like always flapped open, a little bit bigger. So I really enjoy having this happy planner. I was able to get the, what they call guts of it on a discount, on a really good sale at Michael's. They always have great discounts too. And then I kind of upgraded to just different things, made my own cover because I didn't really care for the cover of the original one and all the different things. I could show you later how I kind of personalized it, but right now I'm just going to do a flip through. So let's get into this flip through. Okay, so we have my cover. And if you can see, it's not super thick. It's about 2.5 inches thick as far as everything that's in here. I will be adding probably a little bit more, maybe taking stuff out, but I have my cover, my binder, and right here I have our daily rhythm. Now this may change. Right now it's summertime, and so it might change, but what I did was I laminated. I created this document on canva.com, and then I laminated it, and I can take a dry erase marker that I have nearby, and I can just check off what we've done. I really try to get my schooling done within 2 hours. So if we start at 9, we're done by 11. If I start at 10, we're done by 12, that kind of thing. So this actually goes beyond that. I kind of have this for myself. I don't always use this checklist, but it's just good to reference if I have an off day where I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? I can come here. So that's in the very beginning. It's kind of like a secondary cover that I made, but I also have a little pen pen ring or whatever you want to call it. So just this is a nice little, I think 0.35 super fine pen that I like to use to check things off. It's black, it's simple, you can use any kind of pen. I just like this one. I got them on Amazon. I can link them below, but they're like $7 for a bunch of different colors, but I just keep the black one. This I need to update. We've done more schooling since this, but I wanted to just keep an attendance record. Actually, my state, Michigan, doesn't require us to really document anything. This is just for my own liking to see, you know, how many days we've done in school and when we started, and then when we actually finished 100 days, just so I can kind of get an idea of how our pace is. But I lost my gold pen and so I haven't filled them in. I could just fill it in with black, but I am waiting to find my gold pen. And then once I do, I'll fill it in. We've done a lot more than 6 days so far. So that's in the very beginning. I haven't even filled out this yet. I might not, I don't know. I might just put what grade, you know, like kindergarten and preschool. So then I have our sticky notes that I use most often for just on our calendars. Something that might be temporary that I'm not sure about, that I don't want to write down in ink yet, but those are just a little flag bookmark and sticky notes. And then I have our 2019 year at a glance, and all I've done so far with this is I marked when we have our classical conversations, when we have our group days, when we meet with our community days, and then also the vacations that we need. And I actually need to do something in August and update that a little bit, but these are just days that we have on vacation and CC days so far. Same here over with the 2020. And then I might fill this out for my husband or my mom or somebody who might help me when the baby's first born, when to like some substitute type of information. I don't have any of that filled out yet. And I have these pages, which I actually wasn't sure if I was going to use them, but the more I think about it, the more I think I will. This is just like a year at a glance, as far as looking at all the different days, just, and it shows you where the weekends are and everything. So I haven't filled this out, but this is good to put holidays, birthdays, when I'm planning on starting certain curriculum, when certain, you know, CC starts, and so on. So I just haven't filled that out yet. And you'll kind of notice that I haven't filled out everything yet, but I just wanted to get this up to show you guys if you're planning, trying to think ahead. And I know school's starting soon, so maybe you're wanting some inspiration and ideas for a homeschool planner. So this actually came with the Happy Planner. If you'll see these type of watercoloring and this design, this came with the Happy Planner, but a lot of things that I'm going to be using actually didn't come with the original teacher Happy Planner, but this part did. So I made my own June, because I did some things in June. We started our arthropod unit study with the good and the beautiful, so I kind of made a calendar, told myself when I need to order the butterflies, things like that. And then in July is when we officially started, so I have my July monthly spread here. This teacher planner didn't start until August, so I had to make my own July, and which has actually been good because I've been able to kind of experiment with the format and layouts of different weeklies that I like. So you'll see that in a second. But this is a little bit busy. I know it might be a little bit busy for you. It might be a lot of white space depending on how you like to plan, but I just kind of have things planned out. And the green highlighted are when I want to start certain Good and the Beautiful arthropod study. That's why it's here in my little key. And then some things like, I was like, when are our library books due? I need to put that down, and I figured that out and put it down. And yeah, it's really simple. So I'm going to take this clip out. This clip actually indicates, I keep this clip on the month overview and then on my week. But I'm going to take it out for now, so I can show you kind of how I've done a little bit here and there and tweaked already in the month of July. So I made this, like I said, I made this calendar. So I had to glue it actually to a new sheet. And you can see here, I have my insert that I made, but this is what my week at a glance, weekly view or weekly planning looks like for this week, the first week in July. I'll put back to school because we actually started on the 1st, which is really fun. This was butterfly week. We had the 4th of July off. Now there isn't really much that I had to document. You'll notice that I don't pre-plan a lot. What I mainly do is I write down maybe some crafts that I want to do. So here I wanted to do the life cycle, the butterfly punch, and the sun catcher. And then I also wrote down a sticky note of when the butterflies shipped because I wanted to make sure they were caterpillars. I wanted to make sure in the hot summer they weren't going to be sitting out in my mailbox. So I needed to kind of keep track of when to look out for the caterpillars and then things like that. But what I did for actually our core subjects is I made this printable. This is what was mainly inspired by the One Stop Planner Shop, I think is what it's called, and Annie Smith. So this just indicates I made this on canva.com after kind of viewing what Annie does and realizing that I really like the checklist system. So all I did was I kind of wrote down what I like to do in our morning time, what I like Brooklyn to do for her core subjects right now. If we do anything extra, that's great. But these are just the core things that I want to kind of plug on and get through, and that are, I think, reading, writing, and arithmetic. So, and then I also underline if we did art or science or put a check mark on there. And then for Silas, now you'll notice a theme here for Silas. I don't really do a whole lot with him. He is 3.5, and I just haven't focused on him as much. So I'm sorry about the shadows too. I'm filming with not the best light, but I'm trying here. So I just kind of make note, like even down here, that we went to the park. That's why we didn't really do any school. I ended up doing these things up here, just kind of documenting, but I didn't really need to. It's more just a checklist. It helps me, and you'll see as the weeks go on that we actually do a better job at doing school. This was the second week in very, very empty. Okay, so same thing. I put kind of our goals. I realized that the past week. So the good thing about my checklist is I realized math wasn't being done. So when I was planning on Sunday for the upcoming week, I said, we need to make sure that I do math with Brooklyn. Simple, very simple. I didn't say I want to do 5 lessons of math. I just said, make sure you kind of think about math this week. And as you can tell with my checklist, I did math every time. So then for this week, I would have a clip here so I can just quickly flip this open. I did this week. I also made this little today thing so I can easily flip to it from up above. And this is what I had. Our little week at a glance, kind of what I plan on doing this week. And then I'll fill in some things like, this wasn't here a couple hours ago, but my mom just picked up the kids and went to the fair. So we just said fair with grandma. Tomorrow was play group. I might put didn't get much sleep. So kids, school is harder this day. Monday, that would be yesterday. Make sure that library books, that's a really important thing. So just simple, really simple if you think about it. But I did have a lot of fun decorating this. It's just a little bit of washi tape, a little bit of stickers, and I think decorating will become a lot faster too once I'm used to this whole planner thing. So I think I actually had this clip like this. So what I do is I have this on my table, just sitting out like that, just on part of our homeschool table, or we do it our homeschool in our dining room. So really simple. I just check check things off. The line means that I did everything. I just don't feel like checking it all off. So yeah, that's pretty much that part of the main part of my homeschool binder, is just to keep me motivated, keep us on track, to see, you know, if we skip something, if we've skipped math for the whole week, maybe I should remember to do that the next week. Usually that doesn't happen, but sometimes it does, and I'm okay with that. You'll notice that I'm a pretty relaxed homeschooler. So in August, this is actually what came with the teacher planner, and I do like the pastel colors. I think it's nice, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have this be how I plan. I think I might continue the dashboard planner, which I picked up a separate planner that was on sale, and now I'm inserting those pages, those dashboard pages, into this planner. So it's the nice thing about the Happy Planner, is that I can easily just take this out, say, no, I don't want to do it this way. I don't want my subjects up here because I'm doing my subjects on this thing. So I'm just going to take out all of this, use the calendar, use my checklist, and use my dashboard. Because again, I like to use the dashboard to write down cool things that happened that day, if Brooklyn or Silas learned something, you know, and just interesting facts about the day and about the week. So I kept all the way up until January in this. This goes all the way until July of next year, or June. But I only have January in here because I didn't want it to be too big, and I don't need to plan really far in advance. Okay, so my next area I have are something that I haven't really filled out yet, but these are loop ideas. So kind of where I had my checklist of art and science and music, I will just put in, for art, I want to actually pull out this book and go through a certain book. Or in classical conversations, we're going to be learning about this, and so I can put that in here. This is my brainstorming lists, and then I have extras down here. This is Silas's numbers 1 through 100. How do I want to teach him that? How do I want to teach him pencil work? Just kind of ideas of what we are going to do. Same with this, the school year curriculum map. I have yet to write anything in here, but I did create this on canva.com. You can also, I believe they have a similar thing on the One Stop Planner shop, but I just decided to create it, and I put this little reminder of down here, curriculum is simply a guide, not the master. And that's something actually my mother-in-law has said to me many times when she homeschooled my husband, just to remember that as we're looking at curriculum, don't feel like I'm kind of bound to it. It's just a guide, not the master. So I do plan on filling this out because I know that in August we're still going to be doing all about reading and a reason for handwriting and the good and the beautiful and certain Bible, you know. So I do plan on filling this out, but I just haven't yet, and I wanted to film this video and not have an excuse of not to film it. A curriculum shopper, a curriculum and supply shopper list. So this is just ideas of things I would like to get. Some classical conversations, math and science printables. And they're on Teachers Pay Teachers. So I just wrote that down to remind myself that I want to get that. Expenses, how much I've spent, which I need to fill in that too. Okay, so this is the checklist that come in a standard teacher's planner. And what I did, and it's not very pretty because I did this before I was really knew much about washi tape or anything, but what I wanted to do was just make it a checklist of their core subjects. So this is Brooklyn's All About Reading, A Reason for Handwriting, and then The Good and the Beautiful Math. And so I'm just going to go through and highlight. Now we're already here, so I need to, at the end of a week, go through and just highlight all the things that we've done already. It's just kind of to show me, in January when I look to see, okay, where are we? okay, we're halfway through or more than halfway through, so it's just good to see the progress. And then I have just a notes tab that I made with some scrapbook paper and laminating it. This is just a brain dump, so like if I'm about to plan, but I just need to get stuff out of my head, I kind of made that on Canva as well. So I have a bunch of those pages, and then I also made just just some note paper in case I'm watching a YouTube video or something and I want to write something down. And then I have my classical conversations section. It's kind of empty right now, but it's nice to have it in here because it's part of homeschooling. And I just made this little divider, and this is the year at a glance for cycle 2, which is what we're in. And so it just kind of shows me, and I've already kind of mapped this out, and I do plan on putting a video up very soon about how I use this as kind of the spine or to help us navigate science and our read alouds and things like that for the school year. But I don't really use this as like my master. Like I don't use classical conversations for my kindergarten and preschooler as like the main thing that we do. It's just kind of supplementing. So, and then I have our schedule, and I'm covering up the address and things of where we're actually going to meet. But this is just our kind of tentative schedule for when we are going to have our different weeks for classical conversations. This was given during an orientation a couple weeks ago, so I just easily took my Happy Planner puncher and put it in here. So I really like that. And then this was also kind of a little pamphlet that she gave us just for remember, like when things happen, dress code, or when there's bad weather. I can kind of give this to somebody if they are going to take my kids on a CC day and I'm maybe recovering with a baby or something. So I just kind of kept that in there. And then I have a folder back here. But this folder, as you will hear if you watch any other Happy Planner teacher reviews, they don't actually allow a full paper to fit in here. So what I did, I still have this just in case I want to slip some half documents or something in here. But what I did is I went to Big Lots, and they had these really inexpensive, for 50 cents, really inexpensive plastic. I don't even know what, it's like about the thickness of just like if you put 2 pieces of laminated sheets together, that's kind of the thickness of this. And so I took that into my punch. It worked with this one, it didn't work with a blue folder, so I don't know why, but it worked really well with this one. So I just, for 50 cents, decided to try it. It worked. It didn't clog my punch or anything, and now it can actually hold things. And this is my upcoming unit that I need to prepare this week or next week for space, because in classical conversations, we will be learning about space. So I decided to buy the Good and the Beautiful's space unit study, and that's what this is. So, well, I mean, this is not the whole unit study. This is just kind of helping me map out when the lessons are going to be, and then also I think I have materials, supplies needed. So that's what that is. And I just have a little bit of half sheets that I actually made myself back here, and a little thing. Again, this was only like 50 cents at Michael's or somewhere, and I just kind of use the punch to make my own, to make it fit inside of my Happy Planner. But I also use one on the very front. I didn't show it to you in the very beginning because it's not super pretty, but this is usually how I have it. So I have a ruler here, a dry erase marker with a eraser for those dry erase things that I do, and then some highlighters and things for the curriculum checkoff list. So yeah, that's my homeschool planner. It's working really well. Like I said, I love being able to just check off things and then have that little square to write down any highlights or lowlights of the week so I can look back if I want to. I don't know if I'm gonna keep those things for my whole life, you know, for our whole schooling year. But there are some special things that happen, so who knows, maybe I'll put, you know, make something, maybe you just put it in a file cabinet or a file of some sort of our year. It might be nice. Maybe I'm not sure exactly what I'll be doing with these, but some weeks were pretty special and some weeks are just kind of the norm. So yeah, I hope that this was helpful for you guys, and I know it's kind of a long video, but hopefully there was something that was useful for you. Let me know if there's something that I didn't cover, or if you want to see me going more in depth about something. I also plan, if I haven't put it up yet, I have my daughter's planner that I created for her, and also my own personal planner. So this is just our homeschool planner, and I also have a happy planner that's my personal planner that I plan on plan that will also be up on my channel. I also wanted to let you know that I am on Instagram, so a lot of times I will have these things posted in my stories before I get a YouTube video up. I'll have even more behind the scenes of things. So just so you know, my Instagram is Prayers and Ponytails, and I also, yeah, do a lot over there. But this is kind of my hobby, so I don't do something every single day. My family, of course, comes first, and then but I do love interacting with you over on Instagram and here on YouTube. So with all of that being said, I hope that you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.